Hey everybody, welcome back. Derby2 here today. It's been a little while, but back with some more COD content. There was a new update yesterday that added in Capture the Flag, the Crossbow, and then some bug stuff as well. But today we're just going to be looking at the Crossbow and how you get it, as well as all the attachments, what is good on it, and how it works. Everything you really need to know about the Crossbow. So first off, the reason you're watching this carbine footage is because to unlock the Crossbow, you can either, of course, in typical COD fashion, pay real money for it, or you can do a challenge in which you have to do 5 kills with a marksman rifle with a reflex optic in 25 different matches using either the EBR, the carbine, or the Car 98. You need to get 5 kills with a reflex attachment. So anything that says reflex sight, there's a few different ones. Like this is the aim-op reflex. There's like the mini reflex, etc. Any of those should work. And it's 25 different games. You only need 5 kills, so you can just switch back to a new gun after that if you want, mid-match. It doesn't matter. As long as your first 5 kills, or just 5 in general, are with a carbine with a sight like this, you're good to go. Now, it's kind of annoying because it is 25 different games, meaning at most, if you're just playing TDM, I guess your games are going to be 10 minutes usually, like 8 minutes. Times that by 25, you're looking at like 4 hours to get this of actual match time. So it is a bit of a grind. It's going to be a little while, a couple days probably, to unlock the gun. But then you'll have the Crossbow, and honestly, you're not missing out on much. I've had my hands on it a little bit. It's not the best. It's not great, and it does also count like as a primary. So unless you want to use like a crossbow and a pistol, you're pretty much forced to use overkill as well. But that's just my own personal preference. I'm not a big fan of it as of right now, but then again, it's only been out a day. But jumping ahead, here's what it looks like. This is just with no attachments on it. This is the XRK Crossbow. She looks pretty good, and you've got a lot of attachment slots here. So you've got the cable, and you can use between 2 different options. So better accuracy or better velocity. I would go with velocity there myself. Then you have poundage, which would increase the damage. One is sort of a middle ground, so you aim faster and still do okay damage. I would recommend using the highest poundage. You get, no hit markers. Usually it's always an insta kill. And then you're just going to want to go with ADS speed stuff for everything else, such as the stock. And the grip as well also does ADS speed. And then from there you have 1 slot left, so you can choose between your bolt type, and then you'll have 1 slot after that. So I actually really like the normal bolt, but there's 3 other ones you can use as well. So you have gas, thermite, and explosive bolts. So one works the same as the crossbow you'd remember from Black Ops or a lot of different CODs, where you shoot it, has a Semtex on the end, and then it explodes. And now there's a new one that does gas, and then one that does thermite as well. And the thermite one is really good, for tanks and stuff like that. You can take out vehicles really easily. The gas one, for me, is probably the best PvP, like player-to-player one, just for normal matches, other than the regular one. And then the explosive, as far as I can tell, is actually pretty bad. If you stick them dead on, yeah, they're probably still going to die, just like any other bolt. But if you're not, the explosive seems to be really weak. So you're not going to be getting really any kills with the actual Semtex part. Maybe hardcore for area, or like for some area control, I don't know. But let's run it right now and see how it is with nothing on it. So that, well, not nothing on it, but with just the normal bolt, which is one that I seem to like. It is a one hit. This is the 200 poundage, the normal bolt, and then all the ADS speed stuff. And the normal bolt kills every time in 1 hit, as far as I can tell. Now we're taking a look at the explosive bolt. This one also, for me, with 200 poundage, is killing in 1 hit. So it doesn't really seem like it's any worse than the regular one. But the downside is you can't pick up these special bolts after you've used them, whereas with normal plain bolts you can. So that's why I feel like the Semtex one isn't very good, because you're not getting any advantage because the explosion doesn't do much damage, but you can't retrieve your bolts. So keep that in mind. And now we're going to switch over to the next type. I believe this is gas, I think. If you miss with the gas, it does not go off. So different than the other 2. You have to actually hit someone. With thermite and Semtex, it'll still explode. So there you see, if I hit him dead on, you get a puff of gas, which this one seems really strong to me. So if you're playing like objective game modes, that's going to help you out a lot. Now we're off to thermite. So you see it's still a kill. Always you hit him dead on, as you would expect. But I'm going to try a little bit here to miss slightly and see if you can get a thermite kill that way. And from what I was trying, it doesn't seem to do much. Like, you're going to still need to pretty much hit them dead on. But this would be a good run for vehicles. But yeah, as you can see, it still kills in one. You hit them dead on, they die. It's 200 poundage and the thermite. So as far as I can tell, you know, thermite, gas, both good for PvP like that, straight up. But for me, I like the normal bolt. So then if you don't need an attachment, you save a slot if you just go with the normal bolt. And then you can afford to put on like a big scope like this. This is a 3x5 variable that it has as its last scope. You can actually zoom in and out. And so if you don't use one of the special bolts, you still have a really good gun here, and I actually like it better than the other bolts. You can retrieve your bolts, you have an extra slot, so you can use a scope, or if you don't like a scope, you can use sleight of hand, because the scope for the iron sights is actually pretty good. Just normal irons on this are really clean. So I find myself not using a special bolt and instead using sleight of hand or some other perk. You use the tack laser, anything like that is going to probably do you better. Because as you see there, I actually died previously and I was able to pick up my bolt on my next life even. And you can see there I can pick it up. So you can just retrieve bolts. Here's with sleight of hand as well for those wondering. So this is with sleight of hand, how fast you reload. So pull back in and you're able to shoot again. Pull back, straight, in, and then you can shoot. And then without sleight of hand, if we switch it off, we'll get rid of sleight of hand, throw on just a reflex or something. And then we go over here and blow ourselves up. You'll see without sleight of hand, it takes a little bit longer. It's honestly not that noticeable. I feel like it's barely different, so sleight of hand might not even be necessary. But you can see there, it takes longer to pull it back. That's kind of the main thing. So you have to just kind of struggle with it, put it in a little slower, couple pushes, and then you can shoot again. So that's the crossbow anyways. Like I said, 25 matches, reflex sight on your marksman rifle. Make sure you remember that reflex sight, otherwise you're wasting matches. You don't want to be playing with normal irons or anything like that or other scopes. It's going to have to be one of the 3 marksman rifles, 5 kills in a match, and then just do that 25 times. Good luck, guys. Hopefully you get that done pretty quickly. As far as Capture the Flag, I'll probably make a video about it. Not a big fan, but Capture the Flag is also out now as well, so you can check that out. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully you get the crossbow soon and get to get your hands on for yourself. I still have a long grind to go to actually get it. This was all private match. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.